I generally cover the central Indiana, northern Indiana territory for safety. I visit almost all those jobs in that area. Depending on the size of the job would directly correlate with the number of times I visit, monthly, weekly, whatever that may be. And I also serve as just a resource for any of that crew. If they have any questions when I'm not on site, they can always reach out to me and call me. I also order safety supplies for most of my sites as well, and generally help them out in whatever way possible, whether that's flagging a little bit when I'm out there or whatever it needs to be. I like not being in the office all the time. Before this, I was in general industry, which is more indoor safety. So it's been very rewarding to come to a site and there's nothing there, and when we leave, there's a new structure or new piping, whatever it is that we've installed. And then there's also the restoration fact, so when we leave, it looks better normally than when we came. You can pull any of them out of this hole right now and ask them, hey, are you giving it your best effort today? And the answer will be yes, without a doubt. But so I appreciate that as well. Whereas, in some industries, it can get repetitive, and yes, they're doing concrete today. They may have done concrete yesterday, but it's a totally different slab, a totally different pour with different dynamics to it. So it's always ever changing, and that's what keeps it interesting for me. It's challenging at times. So, it's definitely not often that you run into other women on the job site. It's getting better, but it's challenging sometimes when you go a day or days without seeing anybody like you. But it's also interesting sometimes on the cruise you run into guys that look out for you, and they're always want to answer your questions and help you. But sometimes you get challenged because you're a woman, and maybe they feel like you don't know as much as you should or whatever it is, and sometimes they don't see you as an authority figure, which unfortunately sometimes you are. So it's challenging, but it's also rewarding as well once you're accepted into the cruise and people look at you as a resource and come to you and call on you when they need help, and to be able to help them, especially when you know that maybe a month ago or a year ago they would have never called you. I say there's definitely opportunity there. With the numbers being so low, there's a lot of companies that are looking to increase that number and increase their percentage. So doors will be open, but you have to understand that this has been a male-dominated field for a long time. So some things are going to be slow to change, and you have to be okay with that and be willing to work through that with whatever company you choose to go to in whatever role you are. It's different for me because I'm not shoulder to shoulder with the guys all day, every day, which some women would be. And I imagine that could be a little more challenging. But again, once you get accepted, then I'm sure it wouldn't be an issue. With being in construction, you have to be okay with porta potties and things like that. It's that in itself can be challenging at times. But it's just stuff that you have to kind of get used to and be along for that ride, and just know that in the end, it'll all be worth it. And I do recommend that you find somebody that you can talk to, a mentor. It doesn't have to be another female. It can be a male or whatever it is that can help talk you through some struggles and celebrate wins with you as well.